Hey guys, TheElusiveMad here, and today we're playing Fetch Quest. I downloaded this game like a hot minute ago, so I don't actually remember what it's about. Would-be adventurer Flora accepts the job to retrieve a stolen item from a shady bartender, and that's all I'm gonna give you based off of this. There's 9 endings? Oh god. 6 bad? Oh no. Alrighty, okay. Alright, we're gonna Fetch Quest. You want my resume? After a long day of traveling, you find yourself at a shady pub in a small village. According to the villagers, it's a terrible pub. The food is stale and flavorless, the drinks are expensive, and the clientele are less than savory. Are they sweet? But you're not here to drink and mingle, are you? You're here for a job. Your posting didn't say anything about a resume. It just said, need gold fast, adventures wanted, and then your contact info in big, bold letters. I didn't want to get too wordy. Some of you adventurers aren't big on reading. But if we're not big on reading, why are we gonna make a resume? But as you can see, you've got some competition. The bartender gestures to the only other 2 patrons of the bar. The man with glasses grins enthusiastically at you, while the man in chainmail gives you a curt nod. Wait, did they bring resumes? Of course. Who doesn't bring a resume to a job interview? But we're adventurers! I didn't bring one, but I gave a demonstration of my talents just before you arrived. Would you like to see, miss? I'm always up for an encore. The man gives you a distinguishedly flamboyant wink. Disgusting. I'm extremely charming. Wait. Did I read that wrong? Oh, disgustingly flamboyant wink. Sure, yes. Disgusting, I'm extremely charming. Then gives you a charmingly flamboyant wink. I love it. Rewriting. The air quotes aren't any better. Stop arguing with the narrator or we're not going to get anywhere. The man with glasses crosses his arms and begrudgingly stops complaining about the perfectly fine narration. I love this so far. Anyway, I'm not exactly swimming in gold, so I need to see what I'm working with. He slides you a napkin and a quill. Here, just write down what kind of adventurer-like things you can bring to the table. Sure! You jot down your relevant skills and hand the napkin back. Here, let me just go over this. Bartender pulls out what seems to be a meticulously formatted resume, complete with cover letter. Discarding the numerous unnecessary pages, he finally comes to the abilities and skills section. Connor, your relevant skills are: make an item shine like a torch, detect magic, and ignite things that are flammable, most of which are less than helpful. You can ignite things that are flammable, like with a match? No, with magic. Connor's not nearly as embarrassed as he should be, considering his usefulness is equal to that of 2 sticks being rubbed together. But you can also heal minor wounds with the power of prayer and a first aid kit. Right, we will probably come in handy. Do you have any other equipment? I have a chainmail shirt. I can see that. Your class uses swords too. Do you have swords? Kind of looks away sheepishly. No, I couldn't afford one after buying the chainmail. I see. I'm like, what would be more important? Something to do the damage or something to protect from damage? Probably do damage, right? A man named Connor seems ill-prepared for adventuring. You may have a good shot at getting this job after all. Bartender tosses the rest of the resume in the trash. I'm so glad we brought those. On to you, Todd. You gave a riveting performance to demonstrate your own talents, which seem to be tell which way is north, throw your voice, do sleight of hand tricks, levitate things up to 5 pounds. Great, all power of a mediocre street magician. The last one might be pretty useful. You graciously attempt to make Todd feel better, goes in one ear and out the other, since he's too much of an airhead to realize his own shortcomings anyway. I could also confuse people and make them sleepy by playing my instrument. And your instrument is? Todd looks beside himself with excitement, as if he's been waiting for this question. A kazoo! Pulls out a kazoo and toots a few notes on it. It's extremely annoying. You're beginning to regret your earlier attempt at kindness. I feel like more and more confident in my odds of getting this job. Those are all decent skills to have at a party, but not so much for adventuring. Todd looks offended. Rather than being annoyed that 2 of his 3 applicants are completely useless, the bartender seems to be fighting back a grin. Bartender picks up a napkin you wrote your own skills on. Okay, your turn, Flora. Your skills are bluffing, sneaking, trap detection, disarming, and lockpicking. Yes! Bartender responds happily at you. Yeah, that's someone useful answered my notice, and you wanted a fucking resume. Hey, why is she so much better than us? It does seem like my skills are above theirs. I get the impression she was given more to work with. What? Is she at her level? Flora, let me see your character sheet. I only did what Dan told me to do. The bartender clears his throat in an attempt to curb this out-of-character discussion. You know, higher level in life, given more of the work with by the gods or something. I see what you mean now. Perhaps the gods thought it would be funny. Fate is cruel like that. Todd pouts and Connor rolls his eyes. They'll get over it. Alright, Flora, clearly you have the job. What about us? Yeah, are we supposed to just go home? That's up to her, so stop whining. What do you think, Flora? Do you want their help? I guess I don't get an option to tell them to go fuck themselves. Only if I get a substantially larger cut of the reward, since I'm clearly doing the majority of the work. Flora, you seem kind, but you're actually pretty cutthroat. Though, I'd have done the same thing. I suppose it's only fair. It's settled then. Now, I'll explain the details of the job I have for you. A few days ago, a shipment I was expecting went missing. This is a popular trade town, so it's lousy with bandits. It's likely that's where it disappeared off to. I need the three of you to retrieve the shipments and bring it back to me within the next 2 days. 2 whole days! Do that, and I'll pay you the reward money. If you're late, deal's off. That seems like a harsh deadline. Why do you need it so soon? I've got a guy I'm selling the shipment to. He's pretty skittish, so if I miss our meeting time, that's it. Well, I mean, if I'm not gonna get the reward in 2 days, then I'm just gonna keep the stuff for myself at that point, right? This is starting to sound pretty sketch. How much are you selling it for? Irrelevant. What's it a shipment of? Irrelevant? Why don't you just call the police? Police? You know, the, Connor still was trying to think of the appropriate word for the story setting. Fantasy cops! Todd is, as always, unhelpful. What's the word for it? Yo law enforcement. Yes, the YOL, of course! Oh, I love it. Todd seems pleased with your usage of the classic add yield to make it medieval joke. That's how it works. Do you mean the City Watch? They're super busy. You shouldn't go to them for help either. Busy with what? We're not doing something illegal, are we? Where exactly are you meeting this guy? You know, in case we're cutting it close on the last day, we could meet you there. Look, all I need is for you to find a group of bandits, steal back what they stole, and bring it to me before the time limit. This isn't 20 questions, you don't need to know the details. Well, if I need to know if it's flammable or not, because Connor can light flammable things on fire, then I need to know if I can accidentally ignite it. Like, kind of important. Like, is it a case of water? Like, are we good? Bartender looks pointedly at Todd. And don't try to cut me out and meet my guy. He doesn't like new people. He gets stabby. Trust me, this is the best way for everyone involved. Do we understand each other, or am I going to have to find some other group of misfits to give my business to? Connor and Todd look at you as if waiting for you to say something. I guess I am technically the leader. I am the only one that actually got hired. How are we supposed to find if we don't know what it is? We can find any group of bandits, because apparently the town is lousy with them, and take their shit. But if we don't know what we're looking for, she has a point. You can't possibly expect us to find something without even knowing what it looks like. Bartender grins slyly. Maybe that's part of the fun. Now who's out of character? Alright, we get it. We take the job. Great, it's settled then. It's pretty late. I'd suggest you start your search tomorrow. But that's less days, but that's less time. But that's less time. You sure need a place to stay? Lucky for you, I've got 3 rooms available for the night. I'll even give you a discount rate since we're working together for now. How generous of you. But before that, Todd puts both Connor and you into what is surely an unwanted embrace. Let's drink! Sitting at one of the tables at the bar, the 3 of you decide to tell each other your reasons for becoming adventurers. Apparently Todd actually was a street performer before coming here. And my village burned down with all my stuff in it. What about your family? Can you say you had a sick little brother? Oh yeah, I guess they probably died. But I mean, my stuff! Okay. Todd does not seem at all disturbed by the fact that his family might have perished. And I couldn't even do... Why am I yawning? It's literally like 11. It's fine, whatever, it's fine. And I couldn't even do my acts anymore to make money because, you know, your stuff. Yeah, we got it. What was the point of mentioning your brother was sick? An old woman who taught you to ride a bike? Or the time you fell out of a tree and broke your arm? None of that had anything to do with your motivations. Todd explained. Todd's explanation was full of colorful details that ended up having no relevance to how he got here. It's called characterization. I'm sure Flora gets it. Your story certainly was entertaining. Entertaining. A bunch of things that don't really matter, but like, yeah, good, great. I'm glad you thought my tale of hardship and misfortune was entertaining. You can't tell if he's joking or not. Oh, that's not what I'm only teasing. Don't act so serious. It makes it too easy. He gives you a playful grin and changes the subject. What about you, Mr. Chainmail Shirt? What's your meticulously thought out backstory? Connor clears his throat as if he's about to give a presentation. I used to be a squire for a holy knight. One day my master was struck by a falling tree. How terrible! Connor nods gravely. It was a freak accident. The church called it an act of God and decided my master must have been a heretic. I was orphaned at a young age. He was like a father to me. Do you see a glimmer of a single tear in Connor's eye? Oh, he's more intense than I thought he would be. The church ruled that since my master was a heretic, I must be as well. They took all of my possessions and cast me out for heresy by association. The church is all I've ever known. Without it, I don't know who I am. I became an adventurer to try and do some good in this world. Perhaps that will help me find meaning in my life again. He looks away wistfully. You get the feeling he may have practiced all of that. Well, I'm a godless heathen. There's plenty of meaning in my life. I'm sure you'll be fine. Ignoring Todd, Connor looks at you expectantly. Maybe he wants me to give my opinion on a story like I did with Todd. It was very touching. It was very moving. It looked like you might even start crying. I thought I might be overselling it. Connor looks pleased that you played along. What about you, Flora? Your story has to be better than whatever that was. Well, I suppose it all starts with my father. My family are locksmiths by trade. Business has always been decent. Everyone had something they want to protect. When my father took over, my family business exploded. He was a genius. Not only was he a master locksmith, he's also had a knack for creating dangerous traps. Rich people are always looking for new, more secure ways to protect their possessions and their secrets. We became incredibly wealthy. My father intended for me to take over the business one day and taught me everything he knew. Locks and traps were essentially puzzles. He taught me how to design them and, more importantly, how to solve them. As the reputation grew, our clientele became more and more sinister. The other two lean closer as your story draws them in. My father didn't care who it was. Corrupt kings, evil cults, deranged necromancers. As long as he could continue honing his craft, he would serve them. I couldn't stand it. I begged him to stop. To this day, I still remember what he said to me. No. So I was like, whatever, Dad, and ran away. And now I steal things. Connor and Todd seem confused by your abrupt end. So you steal things out of spite? I think you steal things from bad peoples for justice? Little this, little that, column A, little column B. That's noble of you, I think. Flora, we make the perfect team. Let's travel the world together and become notorious con men. Your story went over well with your new companions. I'm glad they liked the backstory I came up with. Oh, so touched. The three of you chat a while longer before turning in for a good night's rest. See you guys early tomorrow morning, right? Whatever. I'll get up when I want to get up. No, that's not how that works. We need to get up for okay. The next morning you wake up. We're doing early. We got things to do. We don't have a lot of time. Early. You wake up feeling refreshed after a good night's rest on the inn's luxurious and comfortable straw mattress. Maybe you should leave a positive review with the town crier. Are you really trying to promote your fake inn via the narrator? You say some nonsense to no one in particular as you enter the tavern. The only other person you see is Todd. He's fiddling around behind the bar. Morning, sleepyhead! It appears that Todd was up before everyone else in their inn. Of course, he's a morning person. The worst people always are. Morning, what are you up to? Well, I couldn't get any sleep on the mattresses. They're so lumpy and itchy. Clearly this is a lie. It's already been established that the mattresses are both luxurious and comfortable. So I decided to come down here and see what sort of goodies the bartender's hiding. Did you find anything worthwhile? Todd does a flashy spin and makes a show, placing a cup down in front of you. Ta-da! For you, my dear leader. It's a very indulgent-looking coffee. There's even whipped cream and caramel drizzle. Was all this stuff already here? You're not making that up, are you? Todd laughs. I can see why you would think that, but no. You really just have a bunch of coffee and stairs back here. That does seem very accurate to the setting. Take a sip of coffee. It's delicious. Just how you like it. Well, duh, I made it specially for you. Oh, you remember how I take my coffee, but I only ordered it once. You're surprised that Todd's competency is understandable, but as you know, it is his job. Remembering and making drink orders is one thing his dumb lizard brain is good at. The narrator doesn't seem to like me very much. Maybe the narrator is pissed he has to cover Todd's shift tomorrow morning. Okay, alright. Yeah, well, the narrator agreed to it. He should stop being a brat. I love this. Fair enough. You finish up your coffee, but there's still no sign of Connor. Well, should we start without him? What were you planning on doing? I was going to head out and walk around town a bit. You know, gather some information. Think for a moment. I guess that would be okay. The two of you head out into the town. You walk around the busy town streets listening for any relevant information. It's a nice day, and Todd seems more than pleased to be out and about. He really does hate sitting around doing nothing. Something on your mind? It seems he noticed you smile to yourself. Oh, I was wondering if we're actually going to get any information walking around in the open like this. It's not like the bandits will just be shouting in the streets, "Want to be a bandit? Join bandits!" Wait, a bandit is shouting in the streets, waving colorful flyers. What luck! The two of you approach the bandit. Excuse me, we're interested in becoming bandits. Could we get a flyer? The bandit looks at the two of you up and down. I don't know, a couple frolicking around town on dates ain't exactly what we're looking for. Oh, not a couple. I'm actually a, world-class assassin. Todd finishes your lie for you. Right, and he's my manservant. You're not sure how Todd will feel about that, but it sounded better than brother, milady. He drops down on one knee and dramatically bows to you. I'm honored you deigned to introduce me. He gets up and turns back to the bandit. I am loyal to my master. Where even my lady goes, I go too. Oh, that's nice, I guess. Well, we could use a world-class assassin if he has to go where you go. Even to the gates of hell. Right. I guess he can come too. Here. He hands you one of the flyers. Does everyone in this town advertise the flyers? And from the bandit, you look it over. This is perfect. This is exactly what we're looking for. We should go back to tell Connor. If you say so, leader. You have a feeling Todd would not hesitate to leave Connor behind if you let him. The two of you make your way back to the bar. There's a rule!
You don't split the party!
It's bad. Back inside, you find Connor and the bartender eating some delicious-looking omelets. Ooh, you suddenly realize how hungry you are. Yeah. Is there some of that for us? I haven't decided yet. Where have you been all morning? Well, unlike you, sleepyhead, this mission is very important to us. We went out gathering information, and guess what? We found some! Really? Connor's sour expression softens. I wasn't expecting that. Maybe I'll give you your omelet after all. Let's hear the information. Right, check this out. Todd beams proudly as he slaps the flyer on the bar counter. BAM! Connor leans over to read it, while you and Todd scarf down your well-deserved omelets. We earned these. Need gold? Want to rob? Join the bandits! The text is very large and is accompanied by a crude drawing of stick figures beating and robbing other stick figures. Love it. You see the pictures are for the reading impaired. The flyer also details the location of the bandit hideout as well as the password to get in, which is, of course, password. This isn't exactly a hideout if everyone knows where it is. How could they possibly be evading the city watch? The bartender shrugs and gives a vague, dismissive answer. Oh, you know, politics. He trails off without making any sort of point and sips his coffee. Yeah, and their password is password? That's a terrible password. But it's so terrible that no one's going to guess. They're like, obviously it can't be password. It's going to be 123 or something. Like, where's the exclamation point? Where's the, like, you need a number, right? They're never gonna, no one would ever guess it. That's like the first thing you try. No, it's 1, 2, 3. If you need 7 characters, it's 1 to 7. It's, you know, you decided to not comment on the fact that Todd may or may not have experience trying to guess other people's passwords. Not to mention everyone knows it, but knows it now. So it's not even really a password. Well, now that we know where they are, what should we do? Isn't it obvious we storm their hideout and take the shipment back? How do we propose we do that? Juggle at them and confuse the information out of them by playing kazoo badly? How dare you! I play beautifully! He pulls out his kazoo as if to demonstrate. You speak up loudly before you are forced to hear his beautiful playing. We don't storm them, we join them. Todd and Connor stop bickering and listen to you. We pretend we want jobs. While we're there, we'll collect information, find the item, and then steal it right out from under their noses. It's an inside job at that point. If the flyer is any indication, they should be easy enough. This is the obvious choice, but Connor and Todd seem amazed that you came up with it. That would probably work. Great idea, Flora. That's our leader. It just seems like the best option. The three of you continue to discuss your plans for a while, and then head out. Storm the hideout! The three of you follow the map on the flyer and find yourself in front of what looks like a run-down inn. Perfect! Is this really it? I was expecting like tents in the woods. Or a conveniently laid out system of caves or sewers? I don't know. Well, if they're stealing goods in town, I suppose it would be more efficient to have their hideout close by. And it's because it's so like obvious, kind of, it's like it's not obvious. You decide to stop loitering and knock on the door. Flora, since you're good at bluffing, you should do most of the talking. Right, got it. What? But I want to do stuff. Bards are good at bluffing too, you know. I do know, but I'm worried what kind of jobs you'll end up with if you talk to them. The door to the inn opens slightly, stopping the conversation in its tracks. You can see the shadowy outline of a bandit behind the door. Password? Password. The bandit grunts in what you assume is approval. Who are you and what do you want? You probably shouldn't give your real name, so you decide to make some up. I'm Carl Crusher. These are my companions. You gesture to Connor. Bob Basher. And you gesture to Todd. And Steve Smasher. We're here because the flyer. We're really passionate about crime. Well, those do sound like real bandit names. Come on in! Convinced by your alliteration, the bandit opens the door and lets you in. Alliteration always works. Every time. Alright, you lot. I'm the head recruiter here, and if you want to be bandits, I'll give you an interview. Interview? You can see the bandit in full now. He's a large, menacing man with a mustache and a scar across his face. That's definitely not what I'm seeing. Yeah, this guy sounds suspiciously like the bartender. I don't know what you're talking about. Just look at me. I'm clearly a different person. Bandit recruiter strokes his bust. Nope. Still not seeing it. Maybe if you did a different voice. Bandit recruiter does not need to do a different voice because he is, in fact, a different person. Say no, you want? We're still picturing the bartender. Interview question 1. Bandit suddenly starts the interview. Bob, you're walking along a forest path. The man traveling the other way stops you and asks, Sir, what's 36 times 16? It's an interview or a pop quiz. What is your response? 576. I definitely would have gotten it wrong too. So, excuse me, I'm definitely right. Who's giving the interview here? Next question, Steve. You're selling a stolen horse for 5 gold, 18 silver. The man you're selling it to gives you 1 platinum. How much change do you give him back? No, I stab the man, take the coins, and keep the horse. Correct! Yeah, buddy! He answered that really quickly. You never said these were trick questions. They wouldn't be trick questions if I told you. Would they? Connor mumbles something about being at a disadvantage by going first. Last question! We only have 1 question each? Ha! You blew your chance, Steve. You're Steve, right? You're Steve, idiot. Sorry. Quiet. These questions are only to decide your ranks. Wait. So we're already hired? We're low on manpower. We have to take what we can get. Oh man, if I had known that, I wouldn't have tried so hard. The recruiter turns to you. Carl, what is your favorite color? Are these still trick questions? The band recruiter shrugs, as if to say, they can't all be winners. You get the feeling the person writing these questions might have phoned that one in. It's purple. Oh, what a quickie ding! Me too. It's purple. How would you know if she's correct? This concludes the interview. From now on, we'll be working together as a 3-man team. Steve, your answer shows you have low moral standings and wouldn't hesitate to screw over others for your own gain. You're clearly management material. You're the supervisor. I'm glad someone recognizes my talent. Carl, you answered correctly, but there was some hesitation. Your assistant supervisor. Oh, so she'll be like my... You see Todd's mouth forming the word secretary and shoot him a murderous glare. Second in command. More like co-supervisor. You seem lazy. I don't know if I trust you to supervise alone. Bob, since you answered a question like a nerd, you'll be the grunt. You report to the other two. You can sense Connor's annoyance at being called a nerd by someone role-playing as a medieval bandit. So I have 2 supervisors? Isn't that kind of redundant? Nerd talk like that, which is why you're a grunt, Steve. You're Steve! Anyway, here are your employee handbooks. Bandits with handbooks? What? Band recruiter hands each of you a large stack of parchment. Read them over and sign them when I've marked. I still have other bandit stuff to do, so I'll be back to check on you later. Great. Without further discussion, the bandit recruiter leaves you to your busy work. You finish reading the employee handbook pretty quickly. Bandits tend to use small words. You sign and initial what seems like every other page. After a while of trying to look busy, the recruiter finally returns and collects your paperwork. He dismisses you for the day. According to the bandit book, each of you has been given a room to stay in, and from now until tomorrow morning, you have free time. Convenient. The 3 of you decide to split up and look for information about the stolen shipment. Todd mentions something about water cooler talk and heads toward the mess hall. That's a good idea. Connor, unsure of what he can do to help, decides to head upstairs to the infirmary. I should check each floor for locked doors or possible traps. That's likely to be where the shipment is being kept. You methodically make your way through each of the floors at the inn, checking for signs of secrecy. Oddly, there doesn't seem to be a single locked door in the whole hideout. Very trusting. You don't find any stash of items either. Maybe this is the wrong bandit group. You decide to go check on the others. We're gonna check on Connor first. You head towards the infirmary first to check on Connor. How's the infirmary? Was anyone injured? No, it was just a few guys and with food poisoning. Don't eat the chicken nuggets, by the way. Ew, noted. I tried asking about the shipment, but I couldn't get much out of them between all the puking. How about you? Did you find anything? No, which is really strange. There isn't so much as a stolen wallet anywhere to be found. I couldn't even find any records. No list of names, inventory accounts, robbing schedules, nothing. That's even more odd. How do you mean? Well, we filled out paperwork when we got here, and it was pretty thorough stuff. It just seems odd that they would give us so much paperwork to do, then not keep any other kinds of records. Oh, you're right. I didn't even come across the handbooks when I was searching, but I'm sure I checked all the rooms. Where could they have been kept? The 2 of you decide to see if Todd has found anything and head toward the mess hall. As the 2 of you are walking downstairs, Connor suddenly pauses in front of a stretch of blank wall. Something wrong? It's just... I look at the wall with a mix of concern and annoyance. Does this wall make you feel weird? You look at the wall and try and pick up on its vibe. It just seems like a wall to you. I don't feel anything. Maybe it's nothing then? Giving up too easily, Connor continues walking. You, however, know that there is probably a reason that this wall has brought to your attention. I don't want to burn down the wall, so I'm gonna use magic. Is it because the wall is magic? You recall that Connor has the ability to detect magic. You feel around the wall and find a door! Connor stops and turns back to you. A door? It must be hidden with magic. That's why the wall makes you feel weird. Oh, that's right. I forgot I could do that. Connor comes closer to the wall and eyes it suspiciously. Weird wall. Yeah, it's definitely what it is. Good job remembering, Flora. Connor peers the door and tries to pull it open. It's locked. Flora, can you pick it? Of course. You get to work picking the lock. After a few minutes, you hear the click of victory. The 2 of you enter the hidden room and close the door behind you. See? Whoa. The hidden room's a library? You notice the paperwork and you filled out earlier stacked neatly on a table. This must be where they keep all the records. Connor pulls a random book off the shelf and flips through it. Yeah, these are all bandit handbooks and logs. We should be able to find some information about the shipment in here. You each take a handful of books off the shelf and start looking for useful information. The logs don't seem to be organized in any particular order. You take a book from the top of your stack and read the title. Catchphrases to shout at adventurers in battle. Toss the book aside, you grab another. Patrol routes and you. How to not become the target of stealth attacks. This might take a while. The two of you sit together at a table, looking through the books. Connor diligently flipped through each book in his stack before returning them to their shelves and grabbing more. You, however, can already feel your mind starting to wander. You awaken to find yourself still in the library. You peel your face off the book you were just drooling into, and notice you've been wrapped in something warm. Aww, Connor's cloak. You must have covered me while I was sleeping. You smile to yourself, more pleased with this cliche act than you probably should be. Oh, Connor's still sitting next to you, poring over the books in his hands. He doesn't seem to notice that you're awake. You return his cloak by tossing it over his head. Ah! He gives you a small start and untangles himself. You're awake. Sorry about that. I'll grab another stack and get back to searching. That's okay. I think I already found what we're looking for. You listen to the book Connor's reading. You found what we're looking for in Notorious Nicknames Volume 2, Missing Body Parts? What? Oh, I actually found the information a while ago. I was just reading these to pass time. You did? Why didn't you wake me up? Connor shrugs. You look so cute sleeping. Oh! How could he say things like that to other people but get embarrassed the slightest bit of praise? Anyway, here's what I found. He takes one of the books from the stacks in front of him and holds it up. It's a list of stolen goods coming in and out of the hideout. Looks like anything worthwhile the bandits steal is cataloged in here and then sent to the storehouse somewhere in town. There are a few records of shipments that were stolen around the time the bartenders went missing. What we're looking for is probably at the storehouse. Connor, that's great! You decide this is an appropriate moment to tease him. We'll give him a victory hug. Big victory hug, I want to see him flustered. Oh! You pull Connor to a victory hug. Thanks! He seems like he's having trouble controlling the volume of his voice. He clears his throat and continues breaking away from you. But I couldn't find any information about where the storehouse is. Think for a moment. It's possible the location is only known to a select few in order to prevent information leaks. We'll have to come up with a plan to figure out who knows where it is. Satisfied with the information you've gathered and your comfy nap, you decide to leave the library. The two of you head to check on Todd. You peer into the mess hall and see that he's still rancously drinking and gambling with the other bandits. It looks like he's made himself the center of attention. You'd almost think he'd rather be playing as a bandit. You decide to leave him be. You and Connor say goodnight and return to your rooms. The next morning, you all go over the information you found. So we just have to figure out where the storeroom is. Todd starts glancing around at the buildings you walked by, as if one of them is going to be labeled Stolen Goods Storehouse. It's not as easy as it sounds. It's a pretty large town, so we're unlikely to find it by chance. Our best bet is to find an item valuable enough to be taken to it. Then when someone leaves the hideout, we follow them, interrogate them. You can see there's going to be a difference of opinions on how to move forward. For now, let's just figure out how to meet our quota. The three of you are out on thug duty and have been given a minimum of gold to steal by the end of the day. Well, this should be easy, right? You're a thief, you should be able to pickpocket about that amount in no time. We can't steal from innocent people, it's against our alignment. So what, it's not against mine? What about you, Flora? I do like stealing, but it's against my personal code to steal from innocents. You give Todd an apologetic look, as if having morals is something to be sorry for. We'll have to find some other way to make the money. Can't we ever do things the easy way? So what should we do? You think for a moment. What can the three of you do to quickly make money? We're gonna offer services on the streets because betting is not a sure thing. We'll offer our services on the streets. Laura, that's so forward of you? That's not what I meant. We'll have Connor heal the sick. We'll set up on the street and he can heal minor wounds for gold. Oh, that's a pretty good idea. Ugh, boring. Alright, let's give it a try. I mean, you could perform in the street. Excuse me, do you need healing? Passerby you're propositioning hurries past, trying to not make eye contact. Sir, you look like crap. Just shut up and let me heal you. The man Connor is harassing does the same. This isn't going very well. The three of you set up in an area that seemed ideal, but you haven't had any luck finding patrons. Now I know how those mall kiosk workers feel. I was literally thinking the same thing. We don't look very legitimate. Maybe they're wary because of that? Nah, it's because you don't have any showmanship. Todd sighs and gets up from where he's sitting. He cups his hands around his mouth and begins shouting, "Come one, come all, come see the miraculous miracles of Melvin the Magnificent." Melvin? People are starting to direct their attention towards Connor, and a crowd begins to gather. I used to be blind, but with a single prayer session for the low price of blah, blah, blah gold, I was granted the miracle of sight. In which the crowd speaks up. You must not be very good, you're wearing glasses. To go from blind to glasses is fucking a miracle. What do you mean? Connor smirks. I don't like him very much, so I only have healed him. These are for fashion, moving on. Behold with a single word, Melvin the capable of wondrous magic such as... Todd gestures for him to show his wondrous magic, but Connor falters. You decide to offer some advice before the crowd turns on him. I should tell Connor to make something shiny. Right! Shine! Connor points at a nearby bucket and it begins radiating golden light. Well, that was 2 words, but you get the idea. Connor looks relieved and gives you a thankful nod. A group of girls in the crowd scream, "Oh my god, a magic bucket? I have to have it." That's my future husband, I call him. No way, he's mine. Whoever gets the bucket gets Melvin. There's a scuffle for the bucket, but Todd quickly levitates it to himself. 20 gold for the magic bucket, 20 more and he'll sign it too. Ever the optimist. Impressed by the magic bucket, the crowd lines up for various blessings from Melvin. After a few hours of blessings and a surprising number of marriage proposals, you've met your gold quota. Connor looks exhausted from all the attention, but Todd seems energetic. That was pretty fun, even though we were helping people. As the 3 of you head back to the hideout, you voice something that's been bothering you. We didn't get any items though. According to the info we got, the only thing taken to the storehouse are valuable items, not gold. We can't even be sure that whoever moves things from the hideout to the storehouse will go tonight. Without that. He takes something out of his pocket and tosses it to you. A small vial of purple liquid. What is this? It's a potion I liberated from one of our less generous patrons. You stole this? Don't worry, choir boy. I made sure he was evil first. The guy cuts a line in front of some sick peasant girl. He was asking for it. Kind of looks conflicted about whether or not cutting in line warrants being branded as evil. Well, we don't have much of a choice. Hopefully this will work. You back at the bush and continue on your way. Back at the hideout, you present your haul to the bandit recruiter. Wow, this is a ton of gold for your first day. Thanks, I shopped it a lot in high school. It shows. And you said you also stole an item? You present the potion to the bandit. The bandit examines the bottle for a while. Behind you, you could feel Connor getting nervous and Todd getting bored. And what does it do exactly? You're unsure of what the potion exactly does. I have to think of a good line to make it seem valuable. It could kill a dragon, and dragons have hordes, which means they have stuff. This potion is so strong it can kill a dragon, let alone a man. The bandit raises his eyebrows in surprise. Really? I've heard potions like these are very hard to acquire. The bandit slides the vial into his pocket. I think my newest recruit would not only steal over their quota, but bring in such a rare item. You guys will go far in this organization, I could tell. Don't forget me when you're infamous. The bandit recruiter goes to check on the other groups, leaving the 3 of you alone. We did it! Do you think he'll take it to the storehouse? It sure seems like it. Nice bluffing, Flora. Thanks, thank you. The 3 of you celebrate quietly while keeping an eye on the bandit recruiter. Just gonna, we're casually just hanging out and also like watching the bandit recruiter bartender. Later in the evening, the bandit recruiter has finished checking in with everyone. When it looks as though he's going to leave the hideout, you put your plan into motion. Alright, here goes. Outside, you follow the bandit at a distance, using your stealth skills to keep yourself hidden. Every so often, you drop glowing stones that Connor prepared beforehand. Since Connor and Todd aren't as apt at hiding, they're following your trail from further behind. After following for some time, you turn down a dead-end alley. There's nothing but a door at the end of the alley, and the bandit is nowhere to be seen. Found you. Is this it? Connor and Todd caught up to you now. It seems like it. You tell Connor and Todd where to hide so they won't be seen, and you watch the door. After a while, the bandit exits the door and heads back to the direction of the hideout. You give the signal, and Connor and Todd reappear. The three of you approach the storehouse. On the door are two long combination locks. Username and password. Connor reads the writing above the locks. Alright, Flora. This is your thing. Right. I don't think I had to pick these. I bet I can guess the answers. Do you think you can use the same password as the hideout? It's pretty common. I think we can assume that's true. You set password combination to the lock password. What do you think the username is? If their password is password, their username is probably bandits rule. It's probably something like this. You input bandits rule into the username block. Oh, begins the sound. Oh god, the alarm begins to sound, signaling that this was probably the wrong answer. Also, a laser cuts off both of your hands. A laser from where? Why did my hands get cut off by a laser? The alarms are going off. Didn't seem dramatic enough. Anyway, the bandits are alerted to your intrusion and you can no longer return to the hideout. You decide to go your separate ways before they catch you at the scene of the crime. Can I at least heal Flora's hands? They're not what you'd call minor wounds, but sure, I'll allow it. Flora, you now have stumps for hands. Thanks. Flora, now unable to pick locks, returns to her father and begs for his forgiveness. Connor is kidnapped by fangirls and forced to live with them as Belvin the Magnificent. No one ever sees Todd again. You assume he's died. Wait, why am I the only one who died? Flora got her hands chopped off and she didn't die. Why do you decide what I do? Because only one of you even bothered to make a character before coming here. Without my excellent storytelling skills, you'd be nothing. Now, get out of my house. I have to get up early tomorrow. Bad end, storehouse. Damn it! That was one hell of an adventure that we didn't even complete. I have no hands. I have stubbums. Look at these. Look at these stubbums. Anyway, this was a lot of fun. If you guys want to check this out for yourself, I will leave the link down in the description below. I might run this through again and see if I can actually steal the treasure. What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Tell me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys enjoyed this, maybe check out this over here. I promise you'll like it. It's really good. It's really funny. All the things that you want right now. But thank you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.